quick 1 hour stream of 1-2 no limit, and enjoy it. Ace 9 suited 3-way, we're just gonna call. Against that 3-bet, it's a fold. We have nothing, so we're just gonna fold here, we're just gonna fold. Jack 9 suited facing under the gun raise. I'm just gonna fold against an unknown player. Here we got called, and flush gets there on the turn. We don't have a club in our hand, so we're probably just gonna actually we're gonna do a barrel here, and then if he raises, we probably just fold. Here against the squeeze, we're just gonna call and see a flop. Ace 10 suited is a 3-bet. Gonna probably check call. Here we're check folding. Another queen. We're actually gonna start leading here. He's not gonna fold if he has like pocket 10s or pocket 9s with 1 diamond. Here we got check 2, and we have top pair. We're definitely gonna put in a value bet. Not too much though, like 1/3 the pot. We pick up a backdoor flush draw as well. When he check, he can have a lot of pocket 8s, pocket 7s, pocket 9s. I don't think the queen benefits calling range that much, so we're probably just gonna put in a barrel. He could definitely have some sets. We're actually just gonna check behind here, I think. We still beat those hands. Cause he called us in small blind, and then he called a 3-bet in small blind. So I don't think he has like king 10, queen 10 that much here. I think that queen 10 probably a fold pre-flop. King 10 is probably a fold as well. So he has a lot of pocket pairs here, like pocket 9s, pocket 8s, pocket 7s, something like that. He could definitely have a set like pocket deuces and pocket 3. We're just gonna check behind. We should win the pot quite often here. Sometimes we're gonna. When he checked the river, he doesn't have a set here. So I think we probably win the pot. Oh, he has 3-4. Okay. Here with 1 overcard, we're just gonna put in a c-bet. Got called by both players, and then flush gets there on their turn, so we're just gonna give up here. Almost never having the best hand here. Just gonna check. I expect us to lose quite often here, especially after the fourth club. We're almost never winning. Uh, Ace three, blind versus blind. We're just gonna put in a c bet. Putting a three bet. Ten ace suited against button open. We can see a flop. Three betting is fine as well. We're just gonna check fold. Here we're gonna do a small c bet and hopefully just take it down. Since we don't have that many equity. Here we're just gonna fold. He's check raising. He can have a king. He can be doing this with absolutely nothing. But we are just gonna fold here. We got a three bet. This is a four betting is okay. Against this particular player, I think we're gonna put in a four bet. Oh shit, we got timeout. Oops. Not meant to be. Here, we're just gonna put in a small c bet. Hopefully just take it down. If not, we have a straight draw and two overs. We're just gonna check behind here. No reason to bet. I don't think he's ever calling with like pocket 7, pocket 8, something like that. So just gonna check behind. Okay. We're probably gonna chop this flop. On the board. Straight on the board. Hopefully it doesn't go crazy. I don't think he has that many sixes in his range. The only sixes is pocket sixes. So we're probably just gonna try and call. Um, we can actually jam here because he doesn't have that many sixes in his range unless he have like six of diamonds or something. This is actually a pretty gross spot. Yeah, he raised and then called 3 bet. Yeah, we're just gonna call. Yeah, he doesn't have that many sixes in his range. It was kind of stupid for him to do that because we pay more rakes when the pocket's bigger. So turning our hands into a bluff there by jamming the river was actually a pretty good play. A little risky, but like I said, he just doesn't have that many sixes in his range, so I think jamming was okay. Here on a 10-9 3 flop, we're just gonna check behind against an unknown player. Pretty bad flop to see bet. I'll just probably just check fold. Here we're gonna call with ace high. We still beats all the draws. Now Queen Jack gets there. And king hits our range way harder than he hits his. So if he doesn't have like a straight or like some kind of king, he's just gonna give up. We're just gonna check behind here, but I don't expect us to win that often. Yeah, Queen Jack gets there. He should have bet there, cause king definitely hit our range, so that was a mistake not betting. Here we're gonna put in a three bet actually. Knight 7 suited in position. We don't have that many hands so far, so gonna try to make something happen. Just gonna check fold here. We have backdoor flush draw, and king high dry board is pretty good for our range, so we're just gonna range betting. Gonna 3-bet here. Here we have absolutely no equity against he has a lot of king queen here, king jack type of hands. Just gonna try to peel flip flop set. So we're just gonna give up here and check behind. That's fine. Sometimes you just have to give up in a pot. It's totally okay to lose. This guy squeezes and he calls. His hands basically faced up like a small pocket pair, mid pocket pair, something like that. Okay. 10-9 4-way. We're just gonna call and see a flop. I don't like calling, because once we call, our hands is faced up, and his hands is kind of faced up, so we'll end up getting outplayed a lot. So we're just gonna fold. Here, just gonna see bet. Uh, Pocket 10 is definitely a 3-bet against under the gun raise though, so we have to be careful if he calls. Pocket 3 in small blind, just gonna fold. Okay, we flop top here. Definitely gonna put in a C bet. He can have a lot of draws on this board. Diamonds, Queen 10, Queen 9. We got check raised. Here we're just gonna check call with the gotcha straight draw and king high flush draw. Since we block 10-9 some way, so we're just gonna call and see what he does on the turn. We pick up a flush draw as well. And we get our king high flush draw. We're just gonna start betting for value. When he bet this turn, I think we are almost never good. When we are ahead, he still has tons of equity against our hand, so we're just gonna fold. And here against the small blind 3-bets, just gonna fold here as well. One overcard to our tens. Definitely gonna see bet. His big blind calling range is generally pretty wide. He called. He could have like a flush draw. He could have a king. Since we hit that set on the turn, we're just gonna barrel. He can have queen jack sometime as well. We just have to see what he does on the turn. Calls pretty quickly. River brings a 4-card straight. I'm not sure if we can get value from a king here. King probably is a fold. I'm trying to think like what hand can possibly call a river bet, unless you have like knight 8, knight 10 specifically. But knight 8 is raising the flop, and knight 10 we block that, so most likely he just have a king or a busted flush draw, and then he's not gonna call river bet, so we're just gonna check behind. King queen. I don't think that's not gonna call river bet. Maybe, but he could also be trapping with a lot of sevens there. So I'm okay. Just take down the pot. Pocket sixes against under the gun raise was a fold, and then a bottom three bet now it's even more automatic. No action with kings. Sucks. Here just gonna see a flop against an unknown player with the suited ace. Just gonna fold here. Here against a weaker player, we're just gonna see bet. Here, gonna do a 4 bet. Once he called, he could have like a lot of like 5-8, 7-8 type of hands. So we can try to double barrel. And then if he calls, we probably go 3. Because he just doesn't have the hand that's strong enough to check call 3 times. Here we have bottom pair and backdoor flush draw. Just gonna check behind here. And we turn 2 pairs. Hopefully he has an ace. He does bet pretty big. I'm just gonna put in like a small raise here. Guess he had nothing. Pocket eights here. We can consider putting a 4 bet here actually. Let's do that. Here we got a check raise. Definitely a call. He can be doing this with the flush draw. Or we still be ace king here. Just gonna do a c bet. Of course he can have a set here. Pocket 7, pocket 4s. He check right now. We're just gonna bet full value. He probably have a flush draw. He could. Uh, Good thing we just pick up the pot there, and then he calls again, and then flush gets there on the river, so it's really bad river for us. And he check again. There's no reason for us to bet here. It's an automatic check behind. Hopefully he doesn't have like king jack ace jack. He can have a lot of king jack ace jack, but hopefully not. We don't really beat anything else though, so I expect us to lose a lot here. He does have ace jack. Here we have a gut shot straight draw. Just gonna check behind. He checked the second time. We're just gonna start betting for value, just a little bit over the pot, not too much. Against under the gun raise, definitely gonna put in a c bet. Gonna make it a little bigger because we're a little bit deeper. He called the turn. So he's saying he has some kind of pair, like a 10 or pocket 8s, pocket 9s. I don't think he's folding any of those hands, so we're just gonna check behind. Just a 4. Here we got 3 bet. We have pocket 10s. 4 bet is an option. Against this guy though, I think we're just gonna call and place our pocket 10s out of position. Not the greatest flop. He can have like a lot of ace jack, ace queen here. We're just gonna check. Possibly check fold. Here, we're definitely gonna call and see a flop. And we thought middle set, which is nice. Hopefully he has something because this board is pretty dry. He checked right away. We're just gonna fold here because he has ace king, still has a lot of equity against our hand. Um, we're just gonna put like a small bet here. I'm thinking he has something like pocket queens. His hand's pretty faced up. Just gonna barrel. Queen gets there on the river. So if he has pocket queen, he's sucked out. But since he checked, so he almost never has pocket queens here. Because if we just have a king, it's always a check behind here. So I'm thinking he has like maybe jacks or even ace king, or even queen king queen. So queen might be a very good hand for us since he since he checked the river. So now we're gonna bet like pretty big. Even consider jamming here. I think I think we, I think we should jam here because he has a lot of king queen in his range. Yeah, we're just gonna jam here. Uh, yeah, he has ace king, so we got like absolute max value. And here we got called by 2 spot, which is kind of weird. I think we're just gonna barrel though, because if they have ace queen, ace jack, I expect them to like raise the flop or something. So we're just gonna barrel this. More often than not, they have like, flush draw, and flush draw does get there on the river, and then he checked. So I'm thinking that he has an ace as well. He's never checking a flush here. I'm trying to think if we should turn our hands into a bluff, because he could definitely have like a bigger ace. Uh, I think we should do that. Let's just do bet $50. I think he has like an ace, possibly two pair. Yeah, we're just gonna turn our hands to a bluff just to be safe. Wrapping the flush, and we got called. We probably lose. Oh, yes, queen jack. Okay. He should totally fold there though. Like he doesn't beat our betting range. Like when we bet, like we have a lot of ace jack, ace queen, and sets and flushes. So that was a terrible call on the river. He should totally just give up with the two pairs. Here we're gonna barrel the turn pretty big and get it in on the river. I don't think he would just call with ace king preflop. Ace king probably he would four bet. And he calls again. He could have like a lot of ace 10, ace 9 that beats us. Most likely he has like ace jack. It's a pretty tough spot. I think with ace jack he's calling our jam because he only has $117. Pies are reaching 190. So I think checking here might be a mistake because we are never folding. If he has like ace 10, ace 9, then so be it. We're not folding. Even if we check and then he's still call, right? But if he has ace jack, if we check it to him, he's just gonna check behind. So we're just gonna get it in. Of course, sometimes he's gonna have ace 9, ace 10, but I think he's gonna call with ace jack. And then if he has two pair, then we're gonna lose anyways. He has ace 6, so we got maximum value here again, just by playing more aggressively, knowing our opponent's range and taking our risk. Because they're like over there, if we just check behind, right? If we check the river with the a6, he's just gonna check behind, and then we just lose basically $117 in value, right? But by playing this way, like a6 paid us off, and then we get those extra $117. And if he had better hands, we're gonna call anyways. So in that case, we just jam, and then go for the max value, and then glad it worked out there. Just similarly to the ace king hand. We on both hands we got absolute max value, which is really good. Here we're just gonna check call with the gut shot. And over here, when we turn our a7 into a bluff, it was a great play, right? Because we were wrapping the flush, because he's never having a flush there, and then he was supposed to fold queen jack, but he refuses to fold. Like you can expect players to make the proper fold all the time in this level, but we still have to do like what was the right play. Checking behind there with a7, we're pretty much losing like 70-80% of the time. But by turning our hands into a bluff, like there's a high percentage that he fold queen jack two pairs there. If he's a capable player, uh, here we're just gonna see bet on this board. Actually, we're gonna check call. Um, he can't really have much, and he check behind. We don't be anything here, unless he have like pocket sixes, but I don't expect that. We're just gonna check fold. And we get there on the turn, so we're just gonna bet like small. So yeah, even though when we turn our a7 into a bluff, and then we lose, but it doesn't mean that it's a losing play. I think it's totally a winning play. With the fourth club, we're just gonna check to him. It's just that it just happened that this time he's not folding, but a lot of other time against other better players, better regulars, they're gonna fold there. Because Queen Jack's supposed to be fold. Like if I was in his shoes, I'm folding there when the flush get there and then facing a third barrel. We're just gonna fold here. Don't be anything. And he's almost never bluffing there. Like all the hand he was bluffing with, pretty much get there. On this flop, we're just gonna check fold because he has a lot of ace jack, ace 10 with overs and gotcha straight draw. He's just never folding. Unless we like check raise and then bet huge on the turn, then he might fold. But there's no reason to do that. Here we have a not flush draw and the gut shot to the nuts and two overcards. Our hand's very good. And this flop hits his calling range pretty hard. We're just gonna do a small c bet, and I expect to be raised a lot. So he's gonna check raise here very often. And we get there on the turn with the nuts. Not necessarily the nuts. He has 9-8 of 9-8 of diamond beat us, but that's about it. And we're just gonna check behind here because I think our hand's way too strong. If he has like queen of diamond, I mean some small diamond, he's folding the turn bet. But if we check the turn and bet the river, and then he have like any kind of diamond, he's gonna call. We're just gonna bet like pretty big here, like pot size. And yeah, he's call. Not sure what he has. Yeah, he only have like 8 of diamonds. So if we bet the turn there, there's a very high percentage that he's gonna fold. But since we check the turn and then just bet big on the river, it looks absolutely like a bluff. So we get extra value, I think. Here we flop top pair. And here with the gut shot, we're just gonna do a c bet. I'm just gonna call this bet. Gonna call again if he bets. He check. So we're just gonna bet for value. Actually, gonna bet like a little bit bigger. So if he has like some kind of combo draw, he has to pay. I don't think he has like a combo draw though, because combo draw is definitely second barrel in this turn. We just take it down, which is nice. Here we're just gonna fold. Uh, 7-9 suited facing small blind. See that? Uh, we can call. We can fold. Folding is okay too. Here we're just gonna call because he's kind of like a fishy player. Flat call, 3-bet with ace king out of position. Like a little, like some kind of tricky player. We're just gonna check behind with second pair. But he does have a. We do have a fish tag on him, so he must did like something really fishy before. And here we're just gonna start betting for value. And gonna see a flop with fives. He check it to us. There's no reason to bet with middle pair and 3 diamonds. Just gonna check behind. Not the worst turn. Here we're gonna do a huge 3-bet. Just gonna check fold here. He checked the second time. We're gonna start betting. Not too much though. And we just take it down. And 3-bet gets called by 2 players. We flop in ace. Ace jack is definitely in their calling range. We're gonna do a small c bet. He could have a lot of small pocket pairs. I expect a lot of fold here, unless he have like exactly sevens. When he raises like this, it is super strong. Um, we I actually lean towards folding here because his calling range is a lot of sevens, ace jack suited, and then when he raises like this, I'm not exactly sure we have the best hand here that often. Here with trips, but forward spades, we're just gonna check, possibly check fold, and king queen against small blind is a call. Small blind 3-bet is a call. Here we're just gonna fold. I don't think we beat much, and then he's almost never doing this as a bluff because we can have a lot of aces, jacks, ace jack, ace king in our range, and him doing this is basically saying he doesn't care about any of those hands. Obviously, he can have like 9-8 suited, 10-9 suited, but that's like the only hand. We're just gonna fold here actually. We can be folding the best hand sometimes, but it is okay. Here we flop our top pair with a king kicker, which is gonna call. We're only losing to ace queen, kings, and aces. He check here. We're gonna start betting for value. Just bet something that pocket jacks, pocket tens can call. We have all the sets here as well. So he's never bluffing if he check raise. You're just gonna fold with jack 9 offsuit. He does call. Pretty good river for us. I expect him to just check. And check behind. Hopefully he has jacks. Pocket nines is the same as jacks there. So we definitely got maximum value there again. Pretty happy with the way we play so far today. Playing pretty much flawless. Here with king jack suited out of position, pretty deep. Against this particular player, I am pretty confident that we can call because he's kind of like a weaker reg players. And here, we're just gonna call and see a flop. We're just gonna check with the pair and flush draw. And here we flop a set. Definitely gonna bet. Actually, we're gonna bet pretty big here because he's pretty deep and he's kind of like a fishy player. Oh, he checked behind, so we're just gonna start betting. He has a lot of ace king here. And we get there on the turn, we're just gonna check it to him. This is a pretty bad river. I'm not here. We're just gonna check behind with ace queen to balance our range a little bit. And then river is a king, which is pretty good card for us because he can have a lot of ace king, aces, jacks. We're gonna overbet this actually. He has a lot of ace king here, jacks, aces. We're just gonna overbet with our nuts. And I expect us to get paid pretty often if he has like ace jack, ace king, a set he's never folding. Here we're just gonna call. And he's never gonna put us on a queen here. He just fold, so I guess he doesn't have the strong hand. Definitely gonna put in a raise. We're only losing to pocket sixes. I expect us to get paid a lot by a six because we don't play like we had a queen at all. He just folded. I guess he was just bluffing. Flop two, top pair and flush draw. Our hand is almost too good to bet, but since this board is pretty dry, pretty draw heavy, so he can have a lot of gut shot open ended. So we're just gonna do a small c bet here. Um, Very good turn. If he has like king queen, ace queen, we're losing anyways, but we still have backdoor flush draw. We still have flush draw to hit, so we're just gonna keep betting for value. And here we're just gonna check behind. And turn an open-ended straight draw and king high flush draw. Definitely gonna start barreling. Hopefully we can just take it down. We don't, but we get there on the river with the king high flush. And he check again, which is good. He can be checking here with like ace of clubs sometimes, but we're just gonna bet like really small. And we get paid off. We get paid off by a set. That's pretty sweet. Here, against this shove from a fishy player, I think we just fold. If it's like $30, we're definitely calling. But $60 is uh, like like 30 big blind. I don't think our nice is that. We're most likely racing, and then I don't want to put that much money in when we have an absolute edge against him in other hands. So we're just gonna fold. Not necessarily means that I think we're losing there, just because I don't want to take that chance to play a 50-50 hand against a player that we have like absolute edge on. Here with queens, and we got 3-bet by big blind, which is really strong. We're just gonna call here and see a flop. King queen off is a 3-bet, even against under the gun raiser. Never calling here. Calling is a mistake. And on this flop, we're not folding. We're just gonna do a c bet. He bet pretty big. We still beat jacks. Don't think he's doing this with pocket tens and pocket nines. We can definitely have a lot of pocket tens and pocket nines in our range. And here we got raised, we're just gonna fold. So definitely calling and see a turn. Uh, Pretty good turn. If he bets again, we might have to jam. And we'll run into aces and kings sometimes. Uh, when he checked, I think he might be check jamming with aces and kings here. So I don't like betting here because anything worse than aces and kings is gonna fold and we don't get extra value. And then I think he's check jamming aces and kings very often here. So we're just gonna check behind us. And this is a very scary card for him because he never has an eight here. Pocket ace is just gonna c bet. We're gonna check behind. Hopefully he has jacks or ace king. Yeah, ace four. Wow, that's kind of crazy. That's a little bit ambitious. Here we're just gonna check behind without gut shot straight draw. Yeah, that was a little bit crazy. Like I would never do that. Like big blind versus under the gun razor with ace four suited. Um, Calling was probably the best idea. Here we're just gonna barrel pretty big. And here we're definitely gonna call this. And pretty scary river for him. And we're just gonna check behind. I expect us to win quite often against ace high. Ace king, ace queen. Sometimes he's gonna have like an overpair. Ace four. Here we're gonna probably target king queen or king jack. So we're gonna bet like 30. King queen and king jack definitely gonna call. Hopefully that's what he has. And then he check raised. Um, Very interesting. Could he have a deuce here? I think he has a lot of bluffs. I'm not sure about this player is capable of turning his straight draw into a bluff. Because deuces actually help us if he has like king 9 and king 8, he just gets sucked out. I don't think he play a set this way. I think we have to call here. Um, he might have a boat sometimes, but I just think he has a lot of bluffing combination. The river really help us. We're just gonna call, and then I expect us to win like maybe 40% of the time, and then losing like 60% of the time. But with that, like we're calling $70 for it, and to win 180, so it's definitely a call. He has a boat. That's unfortunate, but it's okay. Here, he c-bet half the pot. He could have ace king here, but we're not folding yet. Just gonna call and see a turn. And we check. If he bet big again, we probably just fold. Because he can have a lot of ace king here. Two pair sets type of hands. Yeah, I was a little bit surprising that he has pocket eights there. Because the board was pretty draw heavy. And then he was not like check raising any point in that hands. I guess well played by him. He was taking a chance. Here we just gonna fold because we don't beat anything. When he bet the turn, he has a lot of queen jack, queen 10, pocket queen, pocket jack, pocket 10, ace king for the nuts. And even if he has ace queen, he's not betting this turn, so we're just gonna fold. Here we're gonna peel with pocket threes. This guy might squeeze us, but it's okay. We're only losing like $3. And ace queen. Okay, three bet. Uh, I think we're just gonna put in a four bet here against this particular player. We block aces, we block ace king, we block queens. And small blind three bet versus button super wide. His range is super wide, so he can be messing with us very often here. Here with the bottom pair and gut shot, we're just gonna check behind. Here we're just gonna fold with king jack. Pick up extra equity. Yeah, he folded. Here um, we're just gonna probably fold here. And here we pick up extra equity, and then he checked for second time, so we definitely can start betting for value. I'm just gonna check fold. Here with pocket seven, we're gonna put in a three bet in small blind versus button open. 200, 120. Uh, we only we only lost like $125, 126, 127, like a little under 130. Um, with aces. Here folding is okay. Four betting is okay. I don't like calling that much. We're gonna fold here. Yeah, we're only losing $130, which is fine. We could definitely easily lose the entire stack if we bet the flop and he check raise on the flop, and we're just gonna get it in. So from his standpoint, he didn't play well there because he missed like all this extra value. So he's supposed to win like $120 more here in this hand if he played correctly. If I were in his spot, I would be winning the entire stack instead of just a 253 pot. I'll be winning like a 400, like almost a 500 pot. So he didn't play well here. But good for us that he didn't play optimal. Here with the top pair and backdoor flush draw, definitely gonna see bet. Uh, what's up? Doing better today. This is my friend. He said he was losing. He was down like 30 buying yesterday in 2 hours. 15 buyings in 2 hours. Here we're gonna put in a four bet and get it in. It's a no-brainer. I don't think he's bluffing us here. Knight A suited on the button. We can opt for a 3-bet, but against a pretty solid player, we're just gonna fold. And here we're just gonna fold as well. Check. Pocket jacks. This is a fold. Pretty good flop for jacks. We're gonna do a small C bet. Definitely gonna call with pocket fives in the blind. And check folding on this flop. Here, pocket fives against our friends. We can 3-bet, we can fold. Probably just fold here. Ace deuce off suited is a 3-bet. Um, Folding is okay, but I like 3-betting. Just gonna fold here. And we flop a deuce, which can be the best hand actually. He dunk bet into us. I don't know what that means. We have all the strong ranges, so we actually gonna pull in like a small raise. Here we have 2 overcards and got shot. We're just gonna do a standard C bet. And yeah, he just fold. I don't know what he was doing. Dunk betting in that board against our range is just stupid. We get there on the turn with the straight. Gonna check to him. Actually, we're gonna bet. There's a two hearts on a flop. He could easily have a flush draw. Don't think he has that many sixes in his range unless he has exactly pocket sixes. And he just have to raise us. The gun plus one. I guess he could have like 6-7. We're just gonna call and then check to him on the river. See what he does. Now we are just absolutely chopping. Hopefully he doesn't do something crazy. If he jam, we probably have to fold. Because he has all the 6-7 in his range. Good thing he just check. So we chop chop. I think raising there on the turn is a mistake. Because you're almost never getting called by better. King Jack suited. Definitely gonna open. We're gonna fold to under the gun raise with Jack and I offsuit. 3-bet. King Jack suited is a call. And here we're gonna put in a 3-bet. Pretty big too. We're gonna fold here. We have a backdoor flush draw, but that's it. Ace high board, like our king and jack is pretty much dead if he has an ace. So our hand just doesn't play that well. Queen 10 suited, definitely a 3-bet against button open. Fish tag player. Just gonna fold. Here we're gonna open. we got a 3-bet. Here we're just gonna call king offsuit. We'll just fold, and here we're gonna do a c-bet. And here against a solid player, we're just gonna do like gonna make it like pretty big. Gonna do like a pretty sizable 4-bet and just call a jam, and hopefully he doesn't have aces. Here we're just gonna barrel, and we just take it down. And here we break everything. We're just gonna check fold. Not even gonna call that. Here with eights, we can put in a 4-bet. We actually just gonna fold here. Queen 7 deuce, pretty dry. We can totally put in a c-bet. And this is a spot where they overfolding too much, and he calling we turn second pair. This is definitely a 4-bet with tens. I'm just gonna check behind. Pretty good river. He could have a flush. He check. I'm pretty confident we have the best hand. Yes, we do. Here with jacks, we're gonna put in a 4-bet or never folding here. It's a mid position open and cut off 3-bet, so their range is pretty weak. Gonna put in a 4-bet. I made a mistake. I should have like 3-bet a little bit bigger. Didn't notice his stack. Uh, Pretty bad flop. We're just gonna check behind here and then possibly just give up. He checked the second time. We're just gonna check. And hopefully, oh, we rivered the boat. Nice. Ace 6, we're just gonna 3-bet. If he had aces, he's never playing this way, I don't think. Let's just bet like really small. I'm not sure like what he has. I think he has something like pocket tens, pocket jacks, even like pocket fours or something. We're just gonna bet like really small, like $10, and hopefully that's gonna induce a bluff, which is very likely. But this is the same guy that checked the ball on the river when we have pocket aces, so he's definitely capable of slow playing. But I don't know if he's gonna slow play that much, where he doesn't bet all 3 street with his top of the range. Here we're just gonna defend with king 10 offsuit. Flop top pair, 3 clubs. We don't have a clubs. Definitely calling that, not folding to that just yet. Turn 2 pair, but there are 4 clubs out there. We're just gonna check. And he bets again. Oh, we're actually just gonna fold here. We don't really be much. And here we have a middle pair in the gacha straight draw. Definitely gonna continue. And we turn 2 pair here as well, but club gets there. Any queen gets there, so this is not the greatest turn for us. He check behind. We're just gonna check here and then possibly check fold if he bets, because he has a lot of 2 pairs. Ace jack, yeah. If he bets, we're folding. So we definitely lose the minimum there. Flop top two pair against a pretty fishy player with a stack. I'm gonna start with small C bet. Pocket jacks, definitely a 3 bet. Gonna barrel. Unfortunately, he just fold. Pocket tens in a small blind is definitely a 3 bet. Pretty good flop for tens. We're gonna just do a small C bet here. And here we're gonna defend with a6 suited. Just gonna check. We have backdoor flush draw. And here we got raise. Our range, his range is way stronger. He dominates us very often, so we just gonna fold. If we have something like 7-8 suited, then I'm leaning more towards calling. But Jack 10 suited, even though it's beautiful, but just doesn't play that well against his range. And here, we actually gonna check. Just gonna call that bet, and then gonna try to outplay him later streets. We don't pick up any spades on the turn. And then he barrel, we just have to give up now because he can have a lot of king jack, king queen, king 10, just never folding. Just gonna fold. King queen suited versus button open. Um, Most likely it's a 3 bet, especially with the small blind that's in. We're pretty deep here. He's never having a strong hand here. He has a lot of small pocket pairs. Definitely gonna see bet. I'm gonna bet like a little bigger though. Just gonna check. His range is a lot of small pocket pairs. 10, suited connector kind of hand. It's never strong. You're just gonna fold. 10-6 suited. We're just gonna race against a weaker player. Heads up. Here we can 3 bet. This guy's probably like a pretty bad regular calling there instead of 3 betting. We're just gonna fold here. Gonna fold queen 7. We flop top pair. He's not gonna put us on 7. Just gonna do a small c bet. Expect a lot of check raise from him at this point. He just called. With the knight on the turn, we just check behind, and that's a pretty good river. He can have a lot of 5-6 here, and then that missed. He can have like some gut shot straight draw that missed. Hopefully, he doesn't have a 9. Yeah, just pick up the pot. It's kind of weird. He has like absolutely nothing on the flop. Just decide to check call us with 2 overcards. Here with the queen high dry board, we're just gonna see bet with our ace jack. It hits our range a lot harder. We can have all the queens. Here we got 3 bet by the blind. 4 betting I think is a mistake here with jacks because his 3 betting range is very strong. So we're just gonna call and see a flop and play carefully. Flop a set, but he could easily have ace king here. So we don't have the best hand by default. He can have some queens as well. Here flop middle sets definitely gonna see bet and Hugo's gonna raise. We're just gonna call this. He can have a lot of ace king in his range, so we have to be careful. He can have queens as well, so we don't just have the absolute best hand. Pretty bad turn. I don't think he has that many nines. I'm still worried about ace king. I'm not too concerned about the eights. But now he might think we have a lot of nines in our calling range, and then he's gonna like bet huge, but he just check it to us. He could be trapping here with ace king, and we're definitely not gonna bet this turn. It doesn't make any sense. We're not getting value from anything worse, so we're just gonna check behind, and hopefully we can go to a check down. And river is 8, which is really good. Now we're only losing to pocket queens. So if he bet, we're just gonna jam, because when he bet here, he's saying he has a lot of ace king. He can have queens sometimes, but we're never folding our hands here. So if he has queens, it's just a cooler. And if he has ace king, he's just gonna lose the entire stack to us. Pocket ace is definitely gonna 3-bet. But I'm pretty confident that we have the best hand. He could have pocket tens here as well. Aces we got 4-bet, which is nice. We're just gonna wait a little bit and then just put it in. And he bet 26. That's a little bit weird. We're just gonna jam here. And hopefully he has ace king. And we can wrap like a missed flush draw. And when he doesn't snap call, he has pocket queens. Oh shit, that's just a cooler. Nothing we can do about it, but he has a lot of ace king there as well. And here we got 3-bet, definitely gonna put in a 4-bet. That's just a cooler, but like he has some queens in his range. It's just to be expected. But we're never just calling the river there. If we raise a little bit, then he's gonna jam, and then we have to call. So it's the same. It's the same thing either way. Like it's just a cooler that we are gonna lose our stack with entire stack. And here we have kings, and we're facing a 5-bet raise, which is indication that he has aces. But can we really fold kings here? This is actually a pretty brutal spot. But I don't think we're ever folding kings here. We're just gonna get it in, and then I expect us to run into aces sometimes. Actually, like maybe like 40% of the time, 40-30% of the time here. But we just have to get it in, and we might just have 2 coolers simultaneously together. Hopefully that's not the case. And he does have aces. Oops. It's just unfortunate. Yep. Those 2 cooler just pretty much put our amazing session into dust. But that's poker. It's gonna happen sometimes. And we're only like 100, like he only had like 150 big blind, I think. If it's like 250 big blind, then that's when I start consider folding kings pre-flop. But it was only like 150 big blinds, then we're not folding there, and he was just gonna fold. 2 coolers in a row. Boat over boat, and kings ran into aces. Which is fine though. We played pretty well, I think. Here, we're just gonna call when we have an ace. And turn got shot straight draw. Just gonna probably check call again. And he fold. I'm just gonna start betting for value. Actually, we're gonna check call. I don't think he's calling with anything worse. And here we got check the second time. We're just gonna start betting and try to take down the pot. And here we're just gonna do a C bet. Uh, third clubs. We're just gonna check fold here. King queen. We're gonna fold. We're just gonna fold here. We're gonna defend with queen 10 suited. I don't think he's folding ace high here. Just gonna fold. And we got 3 bet by the cutoff, by the button. Definitely gonna put in a 4 bet. And we can be 4 betting here light very often. So he can't really put us on real hands. Gonna do 50, 53. And then he just called. I think we just get it in here. There's no reason to. Actually, yeah, we're gonna check and then get it in on a turn. It's same thing. He only had 138 left. It's never folding if he has anything. And against that, definitely a shove. So we just pick up extra $30 when he had absolutely nothing. Just gonna call the session here. We play around like 1,000 hands today. Pretty up and down session, but overall I think we played really, really well. It's just that we ran into 2 coolers. I'm not even sure if we're up or we're down. We'll find out later. Turn a flush draw. Not gonna call that though. Just gonna fold. Flop a flush draw. Definitely gonna see bet. King queen hits our range a lot hard. Super hard too. So if he has nothing, he's just gonna fold. I think if he has like pocket sevens or something, it's definitely a fold. Pocket nines a fold. He's tanking. I don't know why. It's not that hard to check fold. And he check raise. We're definitely not gonna call with our flush. Not gonna fold with our flush draw and some backdoor straight draw. So we're just gonna call. And we don't pick up any equity on the turn. He check it to us. I think we're just gonna check here. He could be trapping here because if you bet he only had 140, he can definitely check jam. So we're just gonna check. And then we don't get there. But he can have a lot of jack 10 here actually, and he can have like better flush draw. When he bets, I think we should. It's really hard to wrap anything. Like only ace jack of clubs. We're just gonna fold. We don't block anything, so I don't know if it's the best idea to bluff there. And let's see how we do. We are down only $50. It's kind of like a surprising result since I thought we lost like two pretty huge pot. In the session height, we were up like 400 something, and then obviously after the two sucked out, we're down to almost break even. Like I would say, like this is a pretty flat session, but a lot of interesting hands to look at. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.